Hey everybody, this is Alan with the Helmet Center. Today we're looking at an everyday adventure with Martin and Kathy. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming on and hanging out with us.
Hey, Alan. Thanks for
Awesome.
having us.
Awesome to have you. So I just want to ask a couple of questions. So you guys went on a really cool adventure from the Phoenix area up to Kaibab, North Rim, right?
Uh, yeah, we went and we stayed up at Jacob Lake up by the North Rim.
Very nice. So my first question to most people is, what are you riding? Tell me about your ride.
For that ride, I was on a 2014 FJR, and
And I'm on a 2015 Spider RT.
Very nice, very nice. So you guys left from Phoenix. What time of the year was this?
it was September 2nd of 2022.
Okay, so that's not, it's starting to cool off maybe a little bit up north there? Or was it still kind of warm?
Uh, it was not very. I mean, it was cool in the morning, but not cold. I mean,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, the ride home was quite warm, actually.
Yeah,
Because
September
they
is,
were still doing all that work on the I-17, so
yeah.
it took how long to take us to get home. So
Well, you turned off to
Right.
go to Prescott Valley because he had to coach. And I rode home, and it took, I want to say, 4 hours total for me to get home completely straight from Jacob Lake to the house.
that might have been from Flagstaff 4 hours, actually.
Whatever, start to finish of the ride
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
was 4 hours.
That's a good ride. That's a good
Yeah,
ride.
it was,
Yeah.
and a lot of that was being stuck on the freeway on I-17, and it was quite comical because my dad was a highway patrolman, and so he told me, he says, make sure you always carry an umbrella in your bike, because if you get stuck on the side of the road or whatever. Well, I took my umbrella out as we're sitting there in traffic, and I'm riding my bike with the umbrella out because it was hot, man. And there were a couple people that we passed on a Harley, and they're like, "Yeah, I wish I had one."
You know, it's surprising to me that more people in Arizona don't have umbrellas and use them for the sun, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm never without it now. So
Yeah,
And on
seriously.
the three-wheeler, it works really well, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be going down the road with it, but yeah, if you need to pull over for a moment or something, you're sitting in the
Or when
direct
you're
oh
sunlight.
no.
She was creeping at 5 miles an hour with traffic. That's the way it was moving that day. So
That
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Must have
Y-
been on a
Yeah.
Sunday.
uh,
No, it was just during traffic.
I
it was a
gotcha.
Monday, I think.
I gotcha. Yeah, I always try to leave town and come back to town if I'm going anywhere out of town. Make sure it's not on a weekend because that's
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good
especially
time you can do it.
I-17. It's terrible. So
Oh
you,
yeah.
you guys got your cool rides. You're heading up to north to Jacob Lake on the North Rim. What do you like to do up there? What's the? I mean, you kind of sightseeing. It's cool roads. Did you guys camp out? Did you stay at a certain place?
We stayed at the Jacob Lake Inn. Kathy, you hadn't been to the North Rim before that, had you?
No, I'd only been to the South Rim.
So it was just, I think we only stayed there like 2 nights. So, we got there one day. Next day we went and just got the dog here. The next
Yeah.
day we went and kind of explored the park at the North Rim, got up early enough to go for a sunset ride and
Sunrise.
sunrise ride.
Well,
Um,
there's not a lot of people who really know if they haven't explored Arizona a bit, they may not even recognize a difference between the North Rim and the South Rim of the Grand
yeah,
Canyon. How
Yeah,
would
absolutely.
you characterize the difference between? I mean, it takes longer to get to the North Rim for sure, but what's the payoff? What do you think the difference is? How would you characterize it?
it's less populated for sure.
Yeah,
So there's less crowds. It's more mountainous and piney, I think, than the areas around the South Rim.
yep.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's a different vibe, if you will. It's not, definitely not as touristy, and the view was just so beyond incredible. I mean, it was literally a spiritual experience for me, riding and seeing the sun come up over the Grand Canyon. And I'm just, because we went ahead and rode my bike, and as we are riding along, I'm passengering and I'm just bawling, because it was so beautiful, and just a slight mist coming up out of the canyon and the sunrise, and it was just absolutely gorgeous.
That's awesome. Yeah, I thought we should probably talk about that with everybody because everybody thinks, well, I've been to the Grand Canyon. Well, the Grand Canyon itself is awesome, and everybody should see it. But the North
Oh
Rim
yeah.
versus the South Rim is definitely different. It's more forested, a little more rugged, definitely less well populated.
Yeah.
So if you like getting off of the beaten path, the North Rim is a great place to check
Absolutely.
out.
And Jacob Lake is probably what, a 30-minute ride to the entrance to the park.
Mhm.
But there's other lodges a little bit closer.
Yeah.
There's a campground that's, maybe 5 miles outside of the park entrance if you're into camping,
Yeah.
a national forest
Yeah.
campground. So there's lots of options up there. I've been up there with a family before. We had like me and my kids and grandkids and stuff. So it's great place to go.
That's awesome. So I always ask people, if you were to do this ride again, what would you do differently? Would you do everything? Did everything work out great, or what would you do differently? Would you take something different, take a different route? Did you forget something that really would have come in handy? What do you think?
I'd ride my new bike.
So it sounds like you need to take another trip to Jacob Lake.
Yeah, I do.
It's getting a little bit
I
cold
think,
up there right now.
yeah, getting there. I think what I would do different is I would have left on Saturday instead of Friday, because when we left, we got rained on like hell in Black Canyon City. And then it took us like 4 hours to get from Cortez Junction to Flagstaff
Yeah.
because of the traffic and stuff. So it was a miserable ride getting up there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a good start to a fun weekend when what should take an hour and a half takes you 6 hours. So,
Yeah.
but
So
it happens.
timing is impeccable, probably.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
avoid that traffic.
and make sure that you know your route so you don't get lost and have to turn around and go back a couple miles several times.
Are you pointing the finger at him?
I'm not the greatest leader.
Oh, that's awesome. So, anybody who wants to do this, you guys get out there and take this ride because this is a really good ride. Anything else what would you say, what was your most, I mean, Kathy told me a moment ago while you were taking the dog out that her most memorable portion of that ride for her was seeing the sunrise come up over the horizon, and that was a spiritual experience, were her words. What do you say, Martin? What's your input?
Well, I guess as far as, since I had been there before, kind of seeing it through her eyes for the first time. So, as she's experiencing and feeling those things, and,
It's like
kind of
sharing a really cool
struck me the
song.
same way.
It's
What?
like sharing a really cool song with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You live through them vicariously. I totally get it. That's awesome. Well, I think that's all I have. Just a quick tip to everybody to get out there and do some riding. I know that right now it's getting a little bit colder, and people will be going they'll go south. Down south, you want to visit Tombstone or Bisbee, Green Valley. So there's some really nice rides south because it's not too cold out there. A lot of desert riders will be getting out, but that's super awesome. So what do you got? Just final word. Where are you guys planning your next trip?
My next trip is to Albuquerque.
Okay.
So I'll be heading there for a few weeks and stuff, but I'm not sure where our next trip is together. We still haven't talked about that. So
And I'm kind of looking at going to the Ozarks for the eclipse in April,
Oh wow, yeah,
because that should be at full prominence there. So
yeah. Are you an amateur astronomer?
no,
Just like it.
but it's just there was an eclipse like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got as far as Flagstaff, and but that was way out of the path. But I kind of like, well, the next one's not is another 5 years, so I think I'll try to go happy, and it just,
Yeah.
one of those things you want to experience, I guess.
Sure. No, the Ozarks, man, what a trip that would be.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope you'll come back and tell me all about that one. I'd like to hear about that one. Well, you guys, it's been awesome talking with you. If you ever want to come on and share with me and our viewers anything that you guys get out there and do that you think is fun, people like hearing about it, man. It's inspiring to inspire other people and kind of get them motivated to get off their butts and get on their bikes and
Cool.
ride. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. We'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Glad
You
to do
betcha.
it.
And I'll tell you, if you do take the ride down to Bisbee, make sure to take the old Bisbee Highway so that you go up over the tunnel and around that way. It's an incredible ride. Lots of twisties and turns, and it's lots of fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so much, you guys, for joining me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Alan.
good one.
Thanks, guys.